Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you guys had a good day today. All the wildness today was just wild. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make NBA DFS content. All these videos that get posted to this Reddit. I make updates with all the news. You can ask me questions leading up to lock about the slate. So I'll have that link down below. And then if you ever need to get a hold of me privately, you can get a hold of me on X right here. I also post sportsbook plays as well on there. And then if you're looking for more in-depth content, I'll have my Discord link down below. I give sportsbook plays, NBA content, cores, all that great stuff. So that'll be linked down below as well. Yeah, so I played Giannis today in every lineup. So yeah, no recap today on my lineup because obviously that we're not cashing. We're not cashing. Just if you play Giannis, I feel for you, man. I don't know what that was about. I really don't. Just I've never started off a slate in the NBA. It's been years since I've had just a random DNP to start off. Just insane, man. Just insane. I feel for you if you had him. I had him in every single lineup. I faded Wemby. Um, I had some Trey Young, Matas, Jacoby Walter, of course, Kelly Olynyk. Like pretty good lineup. Just killed right off the bat. So yeah, no review. 2 days ago, I did get into the cash. I tilt entered Turbo Slate, tilt entered Night Slate. So maybe I'll recap those in tomorrow night's video. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the slate. So we'll see if Anthony Davis is going to be playing tomorrow. We shall see. They're still going to be without P.D. Washington, and they're going to be without Derek Lively as well. So if Anthony Davis plays in a really bad matchup going up against Boston, like kind of the same thing. We're going to talk about that in a minute with who recently with Luka Doncic. We could talk about it now, but like I was saying, like nobody played De'Aaron Fox today in a good matchup because they were too scared to determine what that situation is going to look like, right? So like if you can take advantage of that with like a Luka Doncic potentially tomorrow, or even like a 80. Now he's going to be playing the four. It's going to be interesting to see, but like no one's going to play the new guys that get traded. And if you ever read on a situation where like a player's usage rate is going to be a lot better on X team compared to X team, like I said, I thought De'Aaron Fox, his usage rate on the Spurs is probably going to be better than it was on the Sacramento Kings. We'll see if that comes to fruition. I'm not saying it's going to happen for like Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, but like nobody's going to play him. It's a really bad matchup. I think he's intriguing in GPPs just solely for that reason, right? You're probably going to get like 1% owned to Anthony Davis. That never happens on a slate. I would like him a lot more if the matchup was just better, right? So only a large field GPP play for me if he plays. And then I'm not too excited about much else. Daniel Gafford at 7-1 playing alongside Anthony Davis just really hard for me to get to. You have like everyone else priced up here, so there's just nothing, man. Now without further ado, let's talk about if AD is out. If AD's out, I still don't like too much here, man. Like, I think Gafford's getting at the price point where I think he should be. Even though, like, if it was a better matchup, I would like him a lot more, right? We talked about him going up against Joel Embiid. I told you guys to fade if he was playing up against Joel Embiid. He was chalky. He had a really bad game. Now you're going up against the Celtics. So, like, if he's chalky again, I'm really fine just fading that. Always intrigued by Kyrie Irving with the team to himself just because the minutes are massive. The usage rate is great. His potentials without Luka Doncic are just not amazing. They're a lot lower than I thought they would be, so his floor is a lot lower than it would usually be in previous years. Then you have everyone else here priced up. So like they went with a starting lineup of Kyrie Irving, Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, Dante Exum, and Kyrie Gafford, Klay, Dante Exum, and Kessler Edwards, I think it was. Like, you can't play Kessler Edwards. I do think Exum is intriguing for value. Like, if you give him, like, maybe they uptick his minutes tomorrow if he stays in the starting lineup. He's a good point per minute guy for the price point. So if you get, like, low 20s minutes, I think he's playable at the very least. But, like, everyone else, just, I can't pay 5K for Christie. I can't pay 4.7K for Najee Marshall. So there's really not much here on Dallas that I'm liking tomorrow. But then we get to Boston. You guys know so I'm going to say it again. If Anthony Davis is out on the other side of this game, I'm going to really like Kristaps Porzingis and GPPs tomorrow. Just because you guys know, I absolutely love to target Daniel Gafford on opposing sides of games. And you guys know I always like Kristaps Porzingis. So match made in heaven there, but would only like him more if Anthony Davis is out. I think Tatum's fine, like 9.8K. Going to be a good spend up always when he's sub 10K. Jaylen Brown, I'm just indifferent on. Keep an eye on Drew Holiday if he's out. I would assume like Al Horford moves in the starting lineup. He would be a good point per dollar value for the slate. Pritchard would get more run then as well. Same with Sam Hauser. Could they move like a Hauser in the starting lineup? I think it's possible, but they usually just go with Al Horford. I think my favorite play here is Porzingis, but I would prefer Anthony Davis out on the other side of this game. Moving on to Houston, Tari Eason. We will have to keep an eye on him. And then Fred VanVleet, Jabari Smith, they're going to remain out for this game. So if we get everyone out here, Steven Adams is also doubtful. You're going to get. I wonder who they start to. They started Reed Shepard in the second half last game. Like if we get like a Reed Shepard start, he will be a great value. I still really like Cam Whitmore for value. Brooks, I'm not into. Really bad matchup here as well, but like Amen's just been incredible. He's just doing everything for this team. I always think he's a very safe play. Statute Stuffer has triple double upside. I would prefer Sengun to be out, but he is not on the injury report. I still think he's a good play. Sengun in this type of matchup, I'm not too excited about, but this is the type of ceiling he has at low ownership. I think it's fine. Jalen Green has a ceiling. I think I'm mainly looking to the values here. Like if we get like Reed in the starting lineup, I really like Reed. I really like Cam Whitmore. And then like some interest in Amen Thompson, and then of course like Sengun and Jalen Green are playable, but not my favorite players in the slate. And then who would get the backup five? They've Jock Landale back, right? So Landale will get the backup five. He's actually in play at min price. And then if we get Tari Eason in, then I'm less excited about the value, and we'll see who starts. They could still start Reed Shepard. He would be a great value. And then with Steven Adams out, we could get like Tari Eason playing some backup five. That would make Jock Landale a bit riskier. And then no different takes on the main guys there. All right, moving on to Minnesota. So Randall and Dante are going to remain out for this game. Rob Dillingham is a playable large field value if you need a really deep salary relief, but only large field only for me. Really bad matchup here. Rudy Gobert is full up in price point at 6.8K. Still think he's a playable value just because the minutes are going to be massive. Center on this slate, it's pretty okay. I would say kind of mid, to be honest. So I don't mind that. I think it's fine. I think I'm just the priority here for me. And he's not a priority tomorrow, but the good play here for me is Naz Reid at 6.3K. She'll play huge minutes. Really good point per minute guy. When you just have him cheaper than Rudy Gobert, I'm just always going to prefer Naz Reid. McDaniels is priced right. Anthony Edwards having a big game tonight. Sub 10K price point. I think it's fine. Fine spot, not like amazing. And then Mike Conley, 5K. Man, I think the stand-up play here is Naz Reid. We got some really gross games to begin this slate. And keep it on like the trade talk, so I'll make updates on Reddit when we do get all the news. There's a couple guys that are going to be potentially traded, like Robert Williams. Don't know if there's anyone else. I think a lot of stuff happened today. I think that's it. Yeah, these early games are pretty meh. Moving on to Orlando, we'll see if Jalen Suggs is going to be playing. If he is in, that takes like Anthony Black, Cole Anthony out of play for me. Cole Anthony did start the game tonight, but he is 6K. Good matchup here. I really like Franz. I really like Paolo. I think they're two really good mid-range plays. Both statute stuffers, both without Suggs. Really high usage. They dominate the usage on this team. Statute stuffers. Good matchup going up against Denver as well. So I do like Franz and Paolo quite a bit. The bigs, they're going to kind of split the center position, so no strong takes there. I'm not going to play the value, so like, yeah, more meh, just meh. Really high on Franz and Paolo though. And then Jokic is the best spend up on the slate. No issue with him. I think if you have the money, if you have the salary, go ahead and play him. Jamal Murray now 7.8K. I still think it's a bit too cheap. I would like him a lot more if Jalen Suggs is out tomorrow. If Suggs is in, a little bit of a downgrade for me, but if Suggs is out, still too cheap. So definitely still a good play. Michael Porter Jr. is just Jesus Christ right now. I don't know what's going on. He's just absolutely nuking every slate. Really bad spot for him. I think if he's chalky tomorrow, I would like to be underweight to a Michael Porter Jr. chalk tomorrow. Russ is still going to be out for tonight. Keep it on. It's a back-to-back. We could get like Aaron Gordon sitting. If he is out, that's going to help like Christian Braun, Michael Porter Jr., Julian Strother, those type guys. If Aaron Gordon plays with no value on the slate, I do think he's a solid value. And then if Aaron Gordon's out, Zeke Naji started the game prior. He actually played 31 minutes. He'd be perfectly fine for value as well. So yeah, let's move right along to Sacramento. Then we get to a game I think is fine. I kind of like this game. Back-to-back here. I don't know if we'll see anyone sit. Probably not. So, good spot here for a lot of the guys. So Zach LaVine, we'll see how he does in his first game tonight. But like another situation where like no one's going to play him because they're unsure what his usage rate's going to be on this team. You could always start darts there. But I think the main guys I really like here is DeMar DeRozan and Malik Monk. I do want to watch the game after this video to see what their offense is going to look like. But off of first look, De'Aaron Fox, going from Fox to LaVine, it's really going to help DeMar. It's really going to help Monk. DeMar's going to take on a lot more of a ball handling role as well. So I like DeMar quite a bit. I think Malik Monk's strong. LaVine you can always go to at low ownership. Domantas Sabonis, I think it's a fine spot. Like his ceiling in GPPs. Like I said, center's pretty weak on the slate outside of Jokic. So he would be the next guy up for me, and then Zubac probably. Potentially Ayton if like Robert Williams gets traded. They'd be thinner at center. And yeah, Keegan Murray at 5K, reasonable play, but with LaVine, definitely a downgrade there. I don't know how they're going to react or they're going to mesh, right? And yeah, I faded him on night slate. I just don't think LaVine playing alongside Keegan Murray is going to be great for Keegan. And that's mainly it. Mainly just interested in the main guys. Malik Monk, DeMar DeRozan, Sabonis. Those would be my favorites. And then low on Zach LaVine tomorrow could be really good. All right, moving on to Portland. Yeah, Robert Williams could get traded here. Keep an eye on that. If he's out, I feel like they showcased him last game. I feel like Ayton's going to go back to his normal load. Just not a great spot going up against Sacramento here. But he's been on a tear of late. And if you give him his high 30s minutes at 7K, he's probably going to be your best option on Portland. Denny had one fantasy point in the first half last game. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, better spot here up against Sacramento. I think looking at the price points, I think if Robert Williams gets traded, like I said, intrigued by Ayton and GPPs. I like Simons at 6.5, Sharp at 6.1, getting to the price point to where I think he should be a little bit overpriced for my liking. Toumani Camara, same as well. Jeremy Grant at 5.6K, I guess is okay. Once again, not much here. I think it's mainly just Ayton, Denny, Simons for me. Scoot had a massive game last game, but price right. I think I'd just give me Simons all day there. Main interest here, DeAndre Ayton, Simons, and some Jeremy Grant, I suppose. But the price points are up. All right, moving on to the Warriors. This is where we can get some nukes. So I would suspect that those guys that got, like, I would suspect Jimmy Butler's not going to be available tomorrow. Andrew Wiggins got traded. Dennis Schroeder got traded. Trace Jackson Davis is out. I believe he got traded. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think, if he's still with the team, I don't think he's going to play tomorrow. So with everyone out here and the guys that got traded in a good spot going up against, there's going to be a lot to like here, assuming Butler doesn't play, which I would suspect he's not going to. So with that being said, if we get the same situation that happened tonight and it happens tomorrow, there's going to be a plethora of value here. First off, Brandon Podziemski looks phenomenal for value. Buddy Hield, fantastic value. Back-to-back here. We could see Draymond sit as well. That could open up more value. Maybe like I don't mind like a Guy Santos regardless, right? GP2, solid value. Both the bigs with no Trace Jackson Davis. They're going to split the center position. Both are good values. Buddy Hield, like I said, nuke. Podziemski, nuke. Draymond's playable if he plays, like I said, it's a back-to-back. And then, of course, I always have interest in Steph Curry. You're definitely going to need some Warriors tomorrow if we get the same situation that happens tonight, happens tomorrow. All right, moving on to the Lakers. We got to keep an eye on Luka Doncic is going to be playing. But yeah, if people are going to be scared to play him because they don't know what the role is going to look like, I'm probably going to be all over Luka Doncic tomorrow. Assuming he's not like some type of limit, coming back from injury, so like they could heavily limit him. So you're just gonna have to keep an eye on that. But like if he's full go and he plays, I'm gonna be really interested. I would assume his ownership's gonna be really, really low. And then LeBron, fine, not gonna be into too much else here. Now if we get Luka out. Love LeBron James, would be one of my more favorite spend-ups on the slate point per dollar. Austin Reeves is still priced right, so playable, don't love it. Rui Hachimura I like, just playing huge minutes right now with no Anthony Davis, takes on a much, much larger role. We have Dorian Finney-Smith back, so that's going to hurt like Jackson Hayes, Dalton Connect, those types. Hayes is still playable, like I don't mind him for value, she'll play low 20s minutes. His rates have been a lot better this year in years prior, so decent value. And yeah, I like Rui Hachimura quite a bit for value. Connect's playable. Would have preferred Dorian out. Vanderbilt, he played teens minutes. He's actually a playable dart. If we get no value opening up later, I don't mind that. I think that's okay. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for the Lakers. Let's move on to the last game of the night. Really tough matchup. I'm going to say for the 50th time, I really respect this Clippers defense. I'm not excited about much here. It's crazy to see Benedict Mathurin at 5.1K. It's just with Nem back, Nesmith back. They just have to play other people. It's like Matt, just a large field GPP play. T.J. McConnell, his minutes haven't been amazing of late, but a great point per minute guy. Obi Toppin should see teens minutes. Like there's not much here with the value. Nesmith is playable. He should see high teens to low 20s minutes. He's fine. Nemhard's 5.6K. He's probably my favorite play, to be honest, on the Pacers. Miles Turner going up against Zoo. Price point does seem a tad bit too cheap here. Like, yeah, I think you're definitely getting some value there with Turner. And then Siakam, Halliburton, they're both playable. Both do seem a little bit too cheap. 0 points, but I do really respect the matchup here going up against the Clips. Then we get into the Clips where I do like some plays here. I like Zubats quite a bit at 7-2. I think Harden's a really good spend up. I think Norm Powell, Kawhi Leonard both seem a little bit too cheap. And then I'm not going to mess with his value. So yeah, standouts here. Kawhi, Powell, probably my 2 favorite plays. Liking Zoo quite a bit. And then Harden, of course, is in play. So really, iffy slate. It's probably going to be a really chalky one with the Warriors if we get that same situation tonight that happens tomorrow. So, yeah, just we could get some guys traded. There's back-to-backs. We could see some guys rest, like Draymond Green. We could see Robert Williams get traded. There could be some more stuff that I'm missing here. We got to wait on AD news, Luka news. So, yeah, just make sure you're on Reddit and wait for my updates. And I will talk to you all in the next video.